Welcome to another virtual painting session. So this time it's going to be very different. This time we are going to be starting out in the Prima style, and someone did suggest last time, I know I have paint on my hand, but that's just the artist's life. Someone suggested last time to use a backlit photo reference, so that's what I have here. Hey Glenn, Ingrid, Mariah, Monique, Julie. So everyone, the photo reference has been taken from copyright-free source known as Unsplash. I will be posting this into the community section sometime later. Although, since I have forgotten to post it, I realized I've forgotten to post it. I'm actually going to post the photo reference right now in the comments, and if any of my moderators wants to help me out, if you don't mind posting this on the, I don't know, as somewhere in case somebody asks for the photo reference. If not, don't worry about it. When the stream ends, I'm going to post the photo reference link in the community section. So there it is. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using a little bit of raw umber to draw. So the difference between starting out in the Prima color approach versus how we've been starting out before is that this is going to be way more, I want to say, difficult than starting out with the monochrome. And of course, even more difficult than starting out in the usual Prima approach. So any of my online students that are watching this currently or after the stream has ended, you know that when I started the Rembrandt, the Project 5, you may know that I had to move the entire center line of the face after starting that painting in this kind of style. So this is pretty much like the Fast and Furious way of painting, except obviously it's not as dangerous, but it's a type of start that requires not only a knowledge of classical painting, but also paint handling as well. So I'm just trying to get an idea of the composition here. And just like always, please feel free to ask me any questions, art related, anything that would help, gauge the conversation as I'm painting. And I'm actually going to move the head up a little bit. The materials that I'm using are, this is all Griffin Alkyd oil paints, all the same brand. Titanium white, cadmium yellow deep hue, yellow ochre, Winsor red, permanent alizarin, raw umber, ivory black, ultramarine blue. This is my Venetian medium, but I'm not using it today. So no medium today, just the paint. I want this to be pretty much just the paint itself. So I actually made the decision to move the head up a little bit, and yes, I'm going to be going for that backlit type of lighting. And today, just like every stream, actually, unlike every stream, today there's going to be a very special painting available for any art collectors that may be watching or anyone interested in my artwork. But I'll talk a little more about that later on. So I'm moving the head up a tiny little bit more. And I want to say that probably to about there is where I want the top of the head to be. The tone is not dry, actually. I have toned this about, if anyone saw the thumbnail, when you saw that I was covering the white, that was actually like an hour before I started filming. So this is actually just going to be a little more slick than usual. I'm using ampersand Gesso board Museum Series panel. So sometimes I will tone the surface and let it dry over several days. Other times I will just go right into it. And I want to make sure that there's space here for the glasses. So the glasses will be somewhere up here. So I'm still very aware of the glasses, even though I may forget to put them at some point. So yes, this has been toned about 30 minutes or so prior to filming, and I'm not going to be using a wipeout technique or anything like that. I'm just using the paper towel to help me erase. So the principles are universal. The fundamentals are universal. The order that you do things really depends on you. Of course, I'm doing things a little bit differently. Let's see. Hey, Andre. what did I, let's see. Oh, you're talking to Hard Shots. Alrighty, so again, let's see, Javi, is there an occasion where you do use medium with alkyd paints? I do use medium in the second layer. So on Wednesday when we return to this, I'll be using medium. So I think this is good. This is a pretty good placement for the head. And usually the head is about the size of my hands. Hey Glenn, can I use MDF board for panel? Yes, you can use MDF board. And again, this is a ampersand gesso board museum series. I don't know if you can see the stamp there, gesso board, ampersand gesso board museum series. So if you work on an MDF panel like this, yeah, certainly. I would gesso it with Liquitex professional acrylic gesso. I actually have purchased a few, I think like four or five different unprimed panels, and I'm currently in the process of priming them with Liquitex professional acrylic gesso, and I have links to that in the description box of this video. So now to erase, I'm going to switch from the paper towel to the brush. So commissions. So how much do commissions of mine go for? At the moment, I did a recent commission, or actually today I've finished the commission. I've contacted the client. I've been selling, so that the commissions are kind of a one I'm going to have to return to. The last commission I did was at the price of the previous paintings that I sold, but that was kind of like a special thing. I can talk more about the commissions probably at another time. It's too much going on in my head at once. So the outside shape, let me try and actually get the okay, Andre, I'm going to write down my Gmail. I apologize for that, Andre. I'm going to write down my Gmail for you, Andre. And what I want you to do, Andre, is to send me a message, and then I can work something out with you. I apologize for hearing that. But the price for the commissions, Andre, is pretty much the price that the paintings are selling during these virtual painting sessions. So for instance, we just sold a painting last time. So it'll be around the price that you'll see pretty soon for a painting that we're going to have for sale. I'm sorry to hear that, Andre. So please, Andre, send me a... oh wow, someone already discovered the painting that's available today. Please contact me through Gmail. So there we go. That's about where I want the head to be placed. Yep, Andre, definitely. And I apologize for what happened there. My thoughts are with you and your family. Right now, what I'm trying to do is get a composition in the abstract that I like. One that will be a composition that I'll be able to continue to develop. I don't want the head to get too small, and I think about here should be good. Now, first of all, I want to say, oh, thank you, Andre, to everyone that is watching. If by any chance this is your first time watching, I'm going to switch camera angles here. So if this is your first time watching any of the virtual painting sessions, please let me know and I'll give you a shout out. I'll change camera angles and give you a shout out. But sometimes I change camera angles like this so I can talk to you more directly, so it's not so much of, you know, a talking hand where there's a little bit more, I guess personality to our conversations. Awesome, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Harjot. Yeah, I just read that. Awesome, buddy. Okay, so I'm gonna announce now the painting that I have available for special sale, and I want to announce it in the beginning, the middle, and then in the end. The painting that I have available for special sale is only going to be available tonight. If it doesn't sell tonight, then I will likely take it off of Etsy. It's not going to remain on Etsy. I will probably post it every once in a while as a special sale, but just know that the painting that I have available for sale tonight is a very unique painting of mine, if I might add. So I'm going to switch to I'm actually going to put the painting that's available for special sale here right now, actually. So this is the painting that's available for special sale during tonight's stream. Now, for some reason, the light doesn't look so good, but there it is. I had to adjust my lighting. So this is the painting that's available for special sale. The light still looks pretty bad on my screen, but there's nothing I can do. This will only be available tonight. I will take this off if it doesn't sell. It is a self-portrait of mine. It's with my best friend Zorro. Well, one of my best friends, Zorro. You will also be receiving, if you do purchase a painting, if you purchase this painting tonight, you will also receive a free still life. You will receive this still life in the box. So it's a 2-for-1 deal. Here is the price, in case you are wondering. This is the price of this painting for now. This price will likely go up, but this price also includes the painting that I was holding there, the still life painting. So anyway, that's the painting that's available. That's the special sale for tonight's stream only. And this painting will be taken off Etsy after this stream if it doesn't sell. All right, now that I got that out of the way, in case anyone knows any art collectors. Thanks, Mariah. Let's see. I'm glad you like the light effect, Waro Waro. That one was painted entirely from life. That painting that I just showed you was painted entirely from life, working from a mirror in the span of 2 months. It was painted in the span of 2 months. Oh, thanks, Monique. Hey, Adriana, Mouse. All right. I'm going to do my best here to get this angle. So I'm going to actually move this in front of me. Now that looks about right. Famous last words. It looks about right. Yes, I can pin a link to the special sale. Thank you, Julie, for reminding me. Hey, Adriana. All right, let's see. Copy and paste. All right, so there is the link for the painting, the special sale for tonight's stream only. So tonight's stream is truly 2-for-1, really. So you're going to get the still life and the self-portrait, both painted entirely from life. But the self-portrait that I'm selling for tonight, painted entirely from life, using a mirror over the span of 2 months. All right, let's make sure to get these angles correct. And no, it's not that I'm trying to draw a robot. It's that I'm trying to get the angles. Now her head is in 3/4, slightly tilted this way. So she's tilted this way. Let's put in the axes for the mouth. And this stage of the painting is almost always hopeful. This is always a very hopeful stage. So this is the calm before the storm. This is before the awkward stage will set in. But a lot really happens during the awkward stage in the painting. And since we're going to be starting in the Alla Prima style with color, you're going to see something very similar to how I once filmed these YouTube videos. And the reason I'm going to be doing this as an Alla Prima start with color is because of that bright red, bright orange, bright yellow, that natural sunlight backlit glow. I'm going to want to have layers of color on top of layers of color to get that type of effect. And right now, details are useless at this point. I do not care about details. Likeness is not even in the question here. What's really important, likeness is not even on the radar here. What's really important is the big shapes and just getting something started that feels alive, something that feels like I can work with it, something that feels like it's malleable, it's versatile. So again, what have I done here? Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, feel free to ask me any art-related questions. Hey, Waro, yes, I do have live sessions for my online students. It's actually how I film my online lessons. I use the same streaming format. I stream new lessons for my students the same days that I stream here, just in the mornings. So this morning I streamed a lesson, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, it's Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday exactly at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Stephen, I'm hopeful at all stages of my paintings. Awesome. Not so much for me. For me, there are stages in the painting that are a little more stressful than others. So I'm actually pushing the shape of the eye socket up a little more there. And all I want is just a big, simple light and dark pattern. Something that is ballpark close enough for me to start to add color. And this is, again, going to be very risky. The last time I did this, I butchered a painting here. It was the Velázquez. But that one I completely butchered on an off day. So sometimes there's an off day or two, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Sometimes it's like an off month, just like with anything in life. Oh, awesome. Yeah, those would make really good still lives, Waro. Oh, I wouldn't. Yes, being hopeful is good with the start of a painting. Let's see. Hey, Janet. You mentioned liking nickel yellow at some point. Don't remember where. Could you please remind me why? Yeah, nickel yellow is a good color. It's the alternative to lead tin yellow. I liked using it. I still like that color, although I don't have it on my palette. I like that color because it's a nice bright yellow that leans kind of cooler, and it's a nice color to use for skin tones. But recently I've been relying more with yellow ochre as my primary yellow for skin tones. But you'll see me use this one, the cadmium yellow deep. This is cadmium yellow deep hue, which I know. Trust me, I know. I wanted to get the Winsor yellow, the alkyd version, but I couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. Good morning. Apologize, I can't read what you've written there, but good morning. I mean, I can't read your, I don't know how to read your username there. Okay, so it's starting to get somewhere. Now I have the angle pretty good almost. And again, this panel has been toned with raw umber just prior to painting, prior to filming the painting. So it's still fairly wet. And I'm using all alkyds, except for when I toned it with just the raw umber, non-alkyd, because I don't have as much of the alkyd raw umber, so I didn't want to use it. All of it up. And again, it's not like I'm trying to get any details. I'm just trying to put something down that I can move around. So at this point, we're now entering the awkward stage territory. Almost there. Now, of course, I need to think about the bottom, so her shoulder's going to fall around there. She has this pendant-looking thing over here. I do think I'm going to paint that pendant-looking thing. And I am adding a little bit more of the solvent onto the brush to get the paint to move, to get the paint to flow. I'm going to add a little bit more of the depth of her hair. So what I want at the end of this, start really, is to have the big shapes in there, something that I can draw over top of and work on and continue to build on Wednesday. But more importantly, I want to have the sense of the light that I can build onto. Usually it's the reverse, but this time I'm going to be starting with those colors and build it that way. And it's going to be less bright. It's not going to be as saturated as I ultimately want it to go. Hey Janet, do you ever use Naples yellow? I haven't, and it's merely just because I've never tried it. I'm pretty sure I've tried Naples yellow at some point, but I can't quite recall. Let's see. Do you keep so Leo V, do you keep a sketchbook? And if so, how often do you sketch? I usually use my sketchbook these days, unfortunately, just for taking notes, things that I need to remember. But my schedule is so hectic. I really don't have too much time for the sketchbooks, unfortunately. So let me go ahead. I'm going to start off with the skin tone and with the hair color kind of simultaneously. So let's do it. Yep, Stephen, I'm using the alkyds. I've been using the alkyds for a while now. And just because it gets a little bit cold here overnight, I don't leave a heater on in the studio at night. So it gets probably around like, I don't know, like 50 degrees Fahrenheit overnight here. So the paints actually, they behave pretty nicely. They stay workable for hours. The alkyds, I mean. And I don't mind them. I really don't mind them. Maybe in the warmer temperatures, I'll probably use them less. But for now, they're pretty good, I gotta say. And before, I had this conception that I would have to use Ingrid. So about the zoom, that was supposed to be announced today. the Zoom one-on-one lessons. Come to find out, my scheduling is not the best when it comes to that, so I'm going to have to get back to you with that one. I wanted to have that announcement by today, but I'll have to get back to you with that, if you don't mind. Hey Maddie Chu, I'm using Griffin Alkyd. Mind you, these Griffin Alkyds are not as high quality as, say, like an old Holland or like a Williamsburg or something like that. I use Alkyds these days mainly because of how often I paint and how quickly I need to finish paintings. So it helps to expedite the process, really. And that's why I use them. And there's not going to be a hint of detail for some time. I'm just going to be working with big brush strokes. Confident brush strokes. Hey Bronson, as someone who would love to do what you do for a living, I'm curious to know your living situation in your studio. Should I be moving back in with my parents? Trust me when I say sometimes I'm gonna give you a little word of advice. Although I better make sure I speak very carefully. Now, sometimes when you want to do sometimes in life you have to give up everything in life, almost everything in life within reason, in order to pursue with complete and full force that which you love to do. Not all of us are fortunate enough to know what we want to do. But yes, living wise, it's not the best. It's not extravagant by any means. It's modest as can modestly be. But I love what I'm doing every day, and I'm extremely tired each night, but it's a nice kind of satisfaction that I'm doing what I love. And the most important thing is that I'm helping others while I'm doing this. That's really the biggest motivator for me. I don't go to bed at night thinking, I want to be this big name painter like 100 years from now that everyone knows about. Like, I think about the many that tell me that I'm helping them, that the many emails that I get where someone said, I haven't painted in 20 years, but after seeing your videos, you inspire me to paint, or students of mine that have only been studying for 6 months or something like that and are already painting wonderfully. That's what really, really motivates me. Now this brush is almost ready for retirement. It's continuing to subtract, as you're seeing there. Hey Monique, I'm glad that you appreciate everything there. Let's see. Alright, so I'm switching brushes, and like I said, I'm not putting in any kind of details. It's gonna look strange, it's gonna look a little bit out of place for a long time, but that's fine. That's as long as I have big shapes here that I can continue to draw with, it's perfectly fine. And if you were to ask me, is it better to have the paint tone here dry or wet as you have it now? And I will tell you it's better to have it dry. But again, time constraints. So if you can tone your panels like this, let them dry. It's much easier to work that way, I will admit. But I also want to tell you, if there's something that you really want to do with your life, is something that you really love to do, and you're asking, and you're kind of telling yourself that, you know, this is really what I want to do. However, I don't want to give up this. I don't want to give up that. It's really down to that question, you know, do you love what you want to do enough that you would sacrifice everything? I mean, everything that you possibly have. I mean, for one thing, I loved motorcycles before starting this, and I had to be away from them for 3 years, almost 4 years, because I couldn't afford to get another one. You know, things like that. Let's see. Mariah, you party, get me motivated. I have only painted 3 paintings in 22 years. Really? Wow, you're doing so great. Let's see. I since painted 4 and got 3 commissions because I came here and work. Awesome. Definitely awesome story there, Mariah. Awesome. Let's see. Hey, let's see what I miss. Hey, Brunson. Oh, I'm glad you like my response. And it's not like I rehearse responses like that. I'm telling you exactly how I feel in real time. Hey, Edward. Hey, I won't talk as much as I usually do. No, feel free to ask any questions you have in mind, art related. I've posted the photo reference link earlier. I do apologize. I believe I forgot to post it on the community section of the YouTube channel. I posted it as a comment earlier. Now, I did say that I was going to get the hair color, and I'm going to get that in soon. And the eyes are not going to be correct for a long time. So in this stage, it's really a balancing act, shape, value, and color. But at the same time, I'm also holding back because I know that I'm going to have 3 more sessions on this painting. So I'm going to have 3 more sessions. So I'm holding back on putting, you know, any kind of like super refined details. And I'm just going for big shapes. So let's get that hair color in there. Oh, thank you. There's the link to the photo reference. Hey, Jane. With water oils, how do you go about building the layers upon, building upon the underpainting without the paint peeling off? Well, that's one of the drawbacks, I think, if you would ask me about the water mixable, water cleanable oil paints, is that they take a very long time to dry. It's the complete opposite to these paints, the Alkyd paints that I'm using. These are oil paints. But they dry really fast. So if I wanted to, I could probably just continue this tomorrow and then keep working on this day in and day out. Now, obviously, I can't do that because of time constraints, but it's nice to have that ability to be able to work on a painting for multiple days in a row. And the most important thing is I'm going in with colors that would normally dry within about a week's time in traditional oil paints, and they'll be touch dry, fully touch dry, sometime tomorrow, which is awesome. Enilda. Alright, let's put in the hair color. I keep saying I'm going to put in the hair color, and then I don't put the hair color in there. And again, I'm not going to be using any medium, just the paint itself. Now, I do consider this to be advanced. The most advanced type of painting possible, because number one, I'm not using any kind of transfer drawing. Number two, I'm not using a monochromatic underpainting. Number three, well, I'm doing this live, so this doesn't get any more complicated than this. But it's fun. I mean, I like a challenge. Hey, Andre. Would I get the PS5 or Xbox? I don't know, actually. My first console was a PS2. Actually, that's a lie. My first console was a PS1. But I don't know. I had a Xbox for the longest time until it broke. And again, this goes back to that, are you willing to sacrifice everything to do what you truly love to do? I mean, you know, I'd have to pick my work materials over even like a $300 console, which I think is the price of the Xbox and the PlayStation. I don't really know. Okay, all right, so now let's get some of these darks over here. And before long, I'm going to start to block in the light in the background so we can get that effective light. Painting really thick. I'm painting much thicker than I usually do. And that's because I'm going in with full confidence that this paint will be dry. But I don't advise doing this, starting without outlines or starting without a transfer drawing. Any kind of linear drawing is good that you have. But if you want to experiment, that's perfectly fine. Hey Naomi, I can see your chats. It's just kind of I'm trying to catch up to the chats, and I'm trying to paint a little bit faster. So yeah. Naomi, I can see your question. So if you have any art-related questions you'd like to ask me, please feel free to ask. And I'd love that this is a possibility that I can go in with bright red. Like, look at that. Look how thick and bright that is. And guess what? It's going to be dry. That's right. It's going to be dry by Wednesday. In fact, it'll probably be dry tomorrow. And that's because I'm using the Alkids again. Yep, Naomi. Yep, I am here. And you know what else I can do, Naomi? Naomi, I can do this. I can switch camera angles, and I can talk to you directly. I can talk to everyone directly. Isn't that cool? I can switch camera angles, and that's really one of the most awesome things. If you would ask me about technology these days, is that we can be so connected so quickly and so easily. I guess it seems easy now, but setting up this stream and all of the technology behind it is way over my head. So for me, someone that's not very, tech savvy, it took me a lot to figure out how to set this thing up. Hey, Mariah, it's fun being here. Oh, you do paint? Well, I paint. Awesome. Now let's put in this bright light in the background, and it's only going to look bright if we have dark surrounding it. The same way dark only looks dark if there's light around it. So we're going to go and we're going to hit these notes with the quickness. We're going to want to have the effect of light. I mean, like now. Like we want that bright light. And someone mentioned this last time, to paint a backlit. Wondering who mentioned it, but someone suggested, why don't you try painting a backlit lighting. Hey Naomi. Oh, I'm glad that you love to paint. Hey Monique, yep, check it out. Bam. There we go. There's the light. Just sign it and call it done. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's wonderful knowing that this is gonna be dry, and it's gonna be something that I'm gonna be able to keep building on, and that's a wonderful thing to have. Hey hard jot, my email. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'll put my email here. It's just my name and then so theartist@gmail.com. There it is. Yep. Just as Harjot said, I'm rather limited in that I can only understand English and Spanish, and I barely understand Spanish. I know maybe like a few words. Ooh, and look at that. We're gonna get a very bright light in no time. And you know what? We're going to be painting this side by side, almost like an impressionist. Get the red for the hair. Whew. Now look how bright that is. Now that is fun. Oof, very thick paint. And it's going to be dry. And it's going to be dry. Very fiery and bright background. Now with Alla Prima, it's all kind of backwards. Alla Prima is all kinds of backwards. So usually it's shape, value, color in that order. Alla Prima is usually reverse. It's color, value, shape, ironically. Not always the case, but in this case it is. It's a little bit backwards. Oh, thanks, Julie. Yep, no problem, Andre. Now I gotta be very cautious though, because it can be really fun to get all these colors and all these shapes and throw all the paint around, but at a certain point you have to know how to transition into drawing mode. So we're not in the drawing mode just yet, but I'm just saying it's going to be important to know when to transition into that. Hey, and Andre Smith. No, I didn't delete your comment. Maybe one of the moderators accidentally deleted it. Andre. Oh yeah, no, but we can't say that. Yeah, it's different here in the US. It's a little different here in the US. Yep, thanks, Julie. Alrighty, so I'm still going to be trying to put in that kind of fire-ish red in the background in the corner here. Look at the fire-ish red. And by the time this painting is complete, when we complete it on Saturday, this should be glowing with light. Just glowing. Right now the drawing is going to be awful. It's going to look pretty bad for the longest period of time because drawing is not something that I'm prioritizing in the beginning, which is again why I'm calling this an alla prima type start. Gonna switch brushes, cover some of the gray in the bottom. So we're painting in kind of like large spots of color. And online class students, I'll be introducing these concepts using still life and landscape. This is definitely not something I recommend to do. This is something that I'm doing because of the speed, because I'll be able to get certain effects faster, like this. Finishing a painting in 3 sessions is not easy. So just for full discretion, if I was to have more time, more than 3 streams, then I would probably again do this in the completely in the classical approach, the way that I teach you in the online classes. Hey Naomi. Oh, thank you. Well, let's let's hope I don't disappoint. No pressure. No pressure. Hey Charles. Oh, you suggested it. Someone suggested this. Charles. Yes, Charles. Thank you. Thank you for suggesting the backlit before. So everyone watching this now, either currently or in the future, again, during my streams, if you want to suggest a type of lighting or a type of, I don't know, if you want to suggest something for these painting sessions, just like Charles did before, he suggested the backlit lighting, and I was scrolling through the copyright-free images, and I saw the backlit, and yeah, it looked pretty good for me to use. Now, clearly, there's a lot. I mean, a lot that needs to be done with the drawing, but as long as I can get the effect of light, next time on Wednesday, I should be able to take this information and continue to refine the light, but also build the drawing that way. Yep, I'm glad you like the backlighting. Hey Nolita, yeah, definitely. This is a fun approach to try, but let me tell you, this approach, as I said before, is very complex. So I'm going to be teaching alla prima painting in the online classes. You know how we're doing in the online classes? You know how we're doing the practical figure drawing? You know how it's kind of like one episode at a time, something that's continuing to build? That's what it's going to be like when I introduce alla prima. But trust me when I say this, I wouldn't recommend doing this with portrait right away. We're going to build up to this. I'm telling you from experience. Yep, so if someone wants to check out, if you like what you're seeing here and you want to check out my online classes, there's the link for you right there. Hey, Neeks. Yeah, it is nice to see see familiar names here. Although I welcome any new viewers to the virtual painting sessions. Again, remember, if you're new, please let us know, and I will give you a shout out. I'll change camera angles, give you a shout out. Hey, Alexis. Monique, by the way, I have art and magic hanging in my home. Awesome. Posted an image of it on my newsfeed and shared it with the Facebook, Upari Facebook page. Oh, thank you. Hey, Hardjock, can you use palette knife for texture in the background? You know what? I'm pretty sure I can. Famous last words. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can for texture in the background. Now, the thing is, these are fast dryers, these Alkids, but even a fast dryer has its limits. So, for instance, if I were to leave this like this, this bright in the background, then it may not dry fully. So what I'm going to do, Harjat, is I'm going to add the paint in the background with the palette knife, and then I'm going to adjust it with the brushes. So I'll adjust it with the brushes. And this is a much faster way, really, to get the color. Ooh, look at that. Look at that bright and rich color. Oh, that is like so much fun. It's like glowing. It's like, I don't even know the word. I don't even know the adjective. It's so bright. It's so vivid. It's probably too bright, however. I gotta double check that. It's probably too bright for the screen, so we'll see. Yeah, definitely. Great suggestion, Harjot. Definitely a suggestion that I'm putting into practice right now. But that is really bright. Yeah, I did, Julie, I must have missed a lot of questions. Yeah, sorry about if I missed any questions, which I see that I did. It's nothing personal, everyone. So again, I'm going to change camera angles. Changing camera angles here with the loaded palette knife. I guess I should put the palette knife down. Sometimes I will miss comments. It's nothing personal. It's just that I don't read as fast. So it's hard to paint and read quickly and respond to questions. But I do the best that I can. So if I missed your question, please just type it again. And one of our moderators can also point it out to me. Ooh, but this is very fun. Huh. Great suggestion, Harjot. So going in with the palette knife, bright as can be with the background. Hey, Andre, I didn't delete your comments. Who's deleting Andre's comments? Naomi, you're new already. Naomi. Let's see, Naomi Cordova. Naomi Cordova. Alrighty, so Naomi Cordova, with all the materials on hand. I'm giving you a shout out for this being your first time in the virtual painting sessions. I hope that you will enjoy these virtual painting sessions. They're fun, interactive, educational painting sessions that of course are every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, usually around 5 or 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope that you will enjoy the virtual painting sessions. Let's see, I missed one from Genevieve Murphy. Just wondering, what paints are you using? Yep, Genevieve Murphy. I'm using all Griffin Alkyd Winsor Newton fast dryers, and I want to say that I'll have the Amazon affiliate links for this soon. I just haven't gotten around to doing that, but I do want to create the Amazon affiliate links, but you don't have to wait for that. You can easily just search Griffin Alkyd Winsor Newton oil paints, and you should be able to find them. Whew. Now that's bright. Now, of course, we're going to layer over that background. So like I said, I was going to go into it with a brush, and that's what I aim to do. So in particular, actually, you know what? I'm going to see if I can miss some, not miss some color notes here. So I'm going to add a little more of the titanium white. And when I say color notes, I mean spots of color in relation to one another. Hey Troy. Yeah. Troy, hit the like button. It helps to turn me Super Saiyan. This is true. Oof, look at this light. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun with this light. Let's put a really bright light there. Crossing my fingers that this is going to be dry for Wednesday. I'm going to be, this is definitely going to be pushing it. Hey, Aura. Oh, thank you. Let me see. There must have been a comment or two that I missed. Oh, thank you, Ingrid, for writing down the name. Hey, Harjat. Oh, there we go. I missed the someone that's new here. So, how do I pronounce your name? Jermaine James. Apologize if I mispronounce your name. Jermaine James, this is my shout out to you with my Winsor Newton Griffin Alkyd paint tube. Shout out to you for your first time here in the virtual painting session. I apologize I missed your comment earlier. I hope you will enjoy these virtual painting sessions. They're pretty long. They're about 3 hours at a time. The last one on for a painting, it usually takes 3 sessions to complete a painting here. The last one's usually the shortest, but they're usually about 3 hour long painting sessions with the virtual painting sessions. So again, hope that you will enjoy them. Sorry I missed your comment earlier. Okay, let me scroll down. Let's see. Hey Leo V, the way you mix the colors and your skill with color theory is amazing. It makes it seem effortless. Oh, thank you, Leo V. So moderators, please help me keep track of the questions that I am potentially missing. So again, if I'm missing your comment, hopefully, Julie or Harjot, Ingrid, someone can point out the comments that I'm missing. Ooh, very fiery red. And we're gonna definitely glaze onto this and make it more exacting later. So very bright, very intense color. Very a la impressionistic. hard gel. Is it possible to use oils on 140-pound watercolor paper? I don't see why not. Hey Janet. Yeah, I don't see why not. As long as you gesso it. Okay. So I've been avoiding the skin tones for some time, so now let's go at it full force. But first, let me see if I missed any more comments. Okay, so Troy is responding to hard out there. Okay. All right. So what you say? We go in with my favorite brushes and start to paint in some planes for the face. Hey, Savvy Hurd, Savvy Hurd. So this is your first time. So Savvy Hurd, with both of my favorite brushes that I have on hand here, I'm giving you a shout out. Welcome to the virtual painting sessions. I hope that you will enjoy the virtual painting sessions. The first pose, which is usually on Mondays, the first sitting is usually, I guess, the most chaotic when it comes to the comments. So just bear with me if I miss any comments or anything like that. But in any case, I hope that you are enjoying the virtual painting session today. And again, welcome to the virtual painting sessions. Let's see. Hey Naomi, how long does it take to dry? 24 hours. 24 hours for this alkyd oil paint to dry. If this wasn't alkyd, it could take weeks to dry. With this thick of paint. So hopefully. So Naomi, again, it's 24 hours. Yeah, I really need a second person here, or like someone here reading the comments to me, like it's at the Studio and Cominati live streams. You know how I always mention them. Yeah, that would really help. Now I'm going to go in with the light on the hair, that kind of goldish color. Hey Naomi, yep, should be touch dry in 24 hours, in theory. I suspect this one will take 48 hours because it's super thick paint. Hey Kang Bijou. Oh, thank you. I'll try to keep the red, the pinkish colors. Hey Jose Antonio. Now we're putting in some bright and violetish colors. And the paint's actually starting to tack up in the light, which is great. That means that this is very likely going to be dry by Wednesday, the next time we work on this. And next time we'll also add in the glasses. I did say I was going to go into the oh, thanks Aura Russell. Hey Genevieve, am I using any medium with this? Nope, just the paint itself. Let's see, Troy Roberts. Okay, you're responding to Janet. Okay, that wasn't directed towards me. I don't think. Should add the brown line to the top of her head. You'd think it adds something to it. There's definitely some textures. So if this is what you mean, hard out the line here. I don't know. I can put it in there to experiment, but I think for the time being, I might leave it this light and make those decisions later. I've been painting for a long time now, and I haven't put in too much shape for the face, so I'm going to have to get into that. Okay, so let's get into some large mixtures of paint. I'm going to need a little bit more of the alizarin. Oh, thanks, Naomi. Whoa. All right. Yeah, so the paint is starting to tack up, which is good. And honestly, I don't think that it was too good of an idea to try to go in with the light or the big brush. So I'm going to switch now to the smaller brush. And just like I always say, work lighter and softer. Even though I'm working with color, I'm still going to work a little bit lighter and a little bit softer. Hey Naomi, where do you put your paints? I actually just leave them on here. I use a handheld palette when I'm painting, so I was actually painting just before I started streaming. I was finishing up a commissioned painting. So what I do is I just take the paints off of this, put it on my handheld palette, and I kind of switch the paints back and forth. Since I'm painting pretty much every day, I work every day except for Thursdays and Sundays, except I had to work 2 Sundays in a row. But usually I try to give myself Thursdays and Sundays off. So with that kind of schedule, the paints won't really dry completely on me. Let's see. Hey Nancy Lopez, were you trained in an art academy? Yep, I went to, well, I don't know if, it's more of a atelier style place called Studio Incaminati. I was there for a year. I lived with one of the instructors back when I was 20 years old. Studied there for a year, but I also studied extensively with an artist named Paulden Hamilton. Who is a teacher, a painter based up in Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, Andre Smith. Yep. I'll give you a shout out. I think I did, although I might be mistaken. But in any case, shout out for you, Andre Smith. I hope that you're enjoying the stream. And to everyone else, If I'm missing any of your comments, again, I apologize. I'm trying to work as efficiently as I can. Hey, vegan, vegan, I am 29. Who? Harjat, did I miss a shout out? Monique, yeah, we will put some stuff in the background, yeah. It's just I have to move into the face or else I'm not going to get much done in the face today. It's usually more time than I ever really spend. So, Harjat, who did I miss for the shout out? Did someone request a shout out and I missed it? Meeks wants to know if Liquitex will dull his painting. Liquitex, it will. If you use Liquitex in the beginning instead of the alkyd, like I'm using here, instead of the alkyd that I'm using here, sorry, that could potentially. That could potentially violate fat over lean if you use too much medium in the beginning. Hey, Nancy Lopez, Studio Incominati. Yeah, and Studio Incominati is awesome. Hey, John de Balin Art. Yep. John de Balin Art. This is my shout out to you with the paintbrush in hand that I was just painting with. Shout out to you for this being your first time in the virtual painting sessions. I hope that you're enjoying the virtual painting sessions. So again, anyone, if I miss your shout outs, apologize. But again, John de Balin Art, shout out to you, buddy. Hey Dale, Bradley, thanks for watching from West Virginia. Hey Monique, yes to working on the face, thinking down the road some darker trees. Oh yeah, we'll definitely put in more stuff in the background. Definitely. Oh, I'm sorry for that, Harjot. So I'm trying as much as I can to put in the axes of the eyes correctly. Not with a fine render, of course. We're going to add more of the rendering on Wednesday, but the idea is to get the axes somewhat correct. Hey Aura Russell, is your livelihood completely as an artist? I've done the math and I have to sell at least $75 worth of art per day to be somewhat comfortable. Oh, believe me, I am not comfortable. Nervous laugh. Believe me, I'm not comfortable. And to be an artist, to do something that you truly love to do, as we talked about earlier, it requires a lot of sacrifice. And I think that that's really the thing. I mean, if you really love what you're doing, you will do anything that you can to be able to do what you love. And for me, no, I'm not living very comfortably, but I can survive off of what I'm doing for the most part. Not very well, but I'm alive and I'm painting. That's what counts. Maybe somewhere down the line, I asked everyone the last stream, My mind is all over the place. I asked everyone on Saturday. I am looking into doing official portrait commissions. So again, if someone knows someone that happens to know someone, again, so again, Julie, I got your message, and I think Julie, you're the only one that whose message that I have received about the official portrait commission. So anyone watching this in the future or watching this currently that knows someone that would like to commission me for an official portrait commission, like a diplomat, a senator, a governor, or famous musician, I don't know, something along that line, definitely hook me up. You know, if Drake wants his portrait painted, let him know you probably can paint his portrait. I don't know, I'm trying to think of like famous people, you know, somewhere along the lines of Sargent, how Sargent was painting portraits, Nelson Shanks. Oh, thanks, Julie. Hey, Troy. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's for Rembrandt. The Rembrandt template I have here. I have here on my iPad. Someone please remind me so I can send you the template right after the stream ends. It's complete. It's on my iPad. It's just ready for me to upload it. Hey, Maruiz. Oh, I finished your commission today. I sent you the message. When you finish my commission, I will post it on Facebook. Yeah, I've sent you the picture. Hey, what's up, Justin? Maruiz. When you finish my commission, I will post it on Facebook, and maybe you will get more commissions. Marisol. I sent you a message on Gmail. If you don't mind checking the Gmail, I sent you the official picture of it. Of course, if you want me to change anything, just let me know in the email. All I have to do now is wait for the painting to dry, which should take about 2 days, and then I will have it varnished. And then once the varnish is dry, again, it'll be a pretty quick process. It will be on its way to you. Justin Tillman has entered the chat. Matt Wazik is there with you. What? How much is the self-portrait? Justin Tillman has entered the chat. Anyone wondering why I'm reacting this way? Justin Tillman and Matt Wazik are my buddies from my skating days. This is the self-portrait that is available right now for the special sale. This painting also will accompany this painting as well. So if you purchase this painting, you get this one for free. This painting is available for purchase during today's stream at this price. This is, I would consider, pretty much a discounted price for this painting. So there's the price for this painting combined with the still life. This painting will only be available for sale during this stream. So if by any chance the painting doesn't sell, I will take it off Etsy immediately after the stream. So thank you for asking that question. Oh wow, what a transition. Going from that painting to this one. Oh yeah, I got a lot of work to do. What messages have I missed? Yeah, thanks Justin and Wazik, Matt Wazik, for joining. Let's see, what have I missed? Okay. Alrighty, let's get down to business here. So hey Maruiz, okay, thanks so much. There's no hurry. Yeah, please Maruiz, please check the email and let me know if you like the painting. that commission has about I think 6 layers now, and I use the fast dryer. So yeah, please let me know. So the commissions do take longer than these virtual painting sessions. And the self-portrait, let's see. What's going on here? All right, so in any case, the self-portrait that is for sale is one of 3 self-portraits that are currently in existence that I know of. I have disposed of most of my self-portraits, so I only keep a few of them. So only a few of them exist right now. I'm actually going to be starting another one soon in a larger format. And that self-portrait took me, as I mentioned, 2 months to complete. Yep, yep, Monique, there are only 3 self-portraits that exist of mine. Actually, there's about to be 2 because I might end up painting over one of them. Yeah, Justin and Wazik, if you're still in the chat, definitely hit me up on Facebook. Maybe we can go skating or something one day. From the last time you saw me, I lost about 40 pounds, so I should be able to skate with you guys again, and we can catch up. So I'm trying to keep the color rather, hey, Aura Russell, thank you, but transparency about your income. Yeah, I hope I get more commissions. But for the most part, I tend to be as positive as I can be. Yeah, all right, I'll get back to Maricela. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but I'm going to punish all of you. Hold on now, except for Julie. Julie, you're awesome. So, and Monique and Ingrid. Everyone else, see ya. So I'm going to take the chat off for everyone that's watching this in the future, and I'm just going to ignore the chat for a while and just paint. All right, so I'm going to talk as if this was a pre-recorded video. So everyone that's watching this after the stream has ended, let's just pretend this is a pre-recorded video. I'm not really going to look at the comments too much. So what I'm trying to do is put in the basic shapes for the face. As I said, this is an alla prima start, so it's not going to be 100% correct. So what I'm going to do is try to draw the most basic shapes that I possibly can and sculpt with them. So I'm going to put about like 50 to 80 shapes, no more than that, and I'm going to sculpt them. So I don't know what was going on in the comments of the chat, but I've taken it off my screen. At the moment, I can't see them. So everyone that's writing comments right now that wants to chat with me, apologize. But that's just the way it is right now. Maybe on Wednesday we'll be able to chat more. So what I want is let's see. What I want is to paint in the thirds, so the eyes to the nose. Well, thanks for your email, Maricela. I'll get back to you. Yeah, no worries. So what I want is to get the main triangle as accurate as I possibly can. So meaning the eyes, the two eyes to the nose, connect the dots, you get a triangle. What I want out of this is a little bit brighter, a little bit softer, and something that I can continue to build onto. And just so I don't distract myself, I'm going to see if I can take the chat out entirely. So everyone that's talking through the chat, I'm not looking at the chat right now. I don't know what was going on with the chat, but it was getting to the point where it was kind of distracting me. So I'm going to switch camera angles and speak to you directly. So I'm going to be painting for a long time now without looking at the chat. I know that kind of defeats the purpose of a live painting demonstration, but I have no idea what was going on in the chat. So those of you that want to ask me questions while I'm painting, this isn't the time to do it. Maybe Wednesday would be the time to do it. I'm going to be painting and looking at the painting and talking to you as if this was a pre-recorded video. Sometime in the middle and maybe approaching the end, I'll look at some of the comments. So if you see the chat box, if you see once I put the chat box back, that means I'm looking at the chat and I will be responding. But I apologize to everyone who may be writing messages right now live. And again, I do have the painting available for special sale, so I will show you this once in a while. So here is the painting that's available as a self-portrait. This will not be available after the stream. It's one of only 3 of my self-portraits that exist to this day. And yes, I know that the mouth is a little bit, well, it's not just a little bit, it's way out. So I'm not even paying attention to the mouth. Again, it's just the main triangle here that I'm looking at. And I'm starting to layer a little bit of a brighter pinkish kind of orangey color for the cheeks. But as I said before, I'm painting this a little bit lighter and brighter because I will be layering darker over this. But it's not as, and it's not like a, you know, perfect step-by-step procedure either. Especially when starting with color like this. It's mainly kind of a reaction type of process. Justin, I'll be texting you later if you're still listening to this. Pretty hilarious. So the time you and Matt join in, it's like chaotic, and it was chaotic in the chat. So I'll be sending you a text message after this. And also, again, apologize to everyone that was in the chat that was actually answering or asking questions art related. It's just the chat got out of hand. So I turned it off. At least I took it off of here, and it's not present in my screen, so. And like I said, earlier I said you have to do certain things to, you have to give up certain things really to pursue what you love. And for me, I really enjoy the chat. I really enjoy talking with everyone. But it's either, when it comes down to, and I'm gonna be serious with you. When it comes down to spending a whole lot of time in the chat and butchering my painting, or doing really well with the painting but missing the chat for the majority, I will probably prioritize the painting. But please feel free to ask me any kind of questions on Wednesday or any other streams that are not as chaotic as Mondays. And this is just me being honest with you. And so moderators, please send me an email later on, and I will send you, unless you're already in the online classes, if you're not in the online classes, I will send you 2 free sample lessons, as a thank you for everything that you're putting up with, helping me out with these streams. So Hardjot, Julie, Ingrid, I think you're in the online classes, but if you're not in the online class and you're a moderator, please email me and I'll send you 2 free sample lessons. And also, if you're still hearing this again, moderators, please tell the commenters that I'm not looking at the comments right now. So sometimes you have to drag the paint out and then paint over it again. I just got your email, Julie. Yeah, I'll get back to you. And yeah, I'll send you I'll send you 2 free sample lessons. But I gotta say, this is starting to work a little bit. This section, forehead's too tall. This is non-existent, but we're starting to get somewhere. Little by little. So again, just putting a lot of focus in the main triangle. I'm drawing with color, so I'm using shape, value, and color. Kind of juggling. It's a juggling act, really, trying to balance all three components of the painting. But again, the main goal was to try to get this as luminous as possible. And then next time, as everyone mentioned, to put in stuff in the background, distant trees or something. And anyone that would like to, again, if you want to take your learning further with me, without the chaos of the YouTube streams, please check out my online classes that start out at just $10 a month. It gets you access to all of the pre-recorded footage of all of my lessons. So, you know, at the moment here, you're seeing me at a very particular situation. So those of you that are watching this live, now, very easily, any painter or any streamer would have gotten frustrated, picked up the camera, set up everything, and just thrown it all, broken it to pieces. But so what I do whenever things get out of hand, I take a few steps back, breathe, and then return to the essence of my existence, which is painting. So like I said, if anyone's writing any comments at the moment, I'm not looking at the comments. The comments are not in the chat. I'm just taking a break from that for who knows how long, and I'm going to continue to paint. So if you are by any chance still watching this live, again, I hope that you're enjoying the footage that you are seeing live in real time. Yes, I am painting this live and in real time at the moment. Now, now that the biggest problem, I have addressed the biggest problem, which is the main triangle. I'm pretty set on the main triangle being the way it is. If the likeness is not 100% there with everything else, that should be fine. It's whatever. The main triangle is the most important thing, that I have the angles relatively correct. The distance between the eyes relatively correct. The rest I could care less. So that is because it's easier to adjust everything else. If you can paint the eyes, the nose is not that big of a problem. If you can paint the eyes and the nose, the mouth is definitely not that big of a problem. If you can paint the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the chin is even less of a problem. If you can paint the features of the face relatively correct to one another, then you can adjust the outside shape based on the features of the face. Now, vice versa, I mean, you can also work in the silhouette of the face and then get that picture perfect and then build into that. So again, as long as you're relating shapes to one another, that's the important thing. Of course, I have to adjust the hairline a little bit here. So if I need the paint to flow a little bit more, I'm just going to use the Gamsol. And again, I'm still leaving the stream live. I haven't adjusted anything. All I did was I took out the chat, and I changed my computer settings so I don't have to look at the chat. So again, the only reason I'm leaving this the way it is rather than taking down the stream or editing it in any way is so that you can see this process, because this is, among other things, this is going to be the underpainting stage for what I'm going to continue to build onto this. And to anyone wondering what this is oil paint. This is Griffin Alkyd oil paint by Winsor Newton brand. So yeah, it is fast drying oil paint. I'm a little concerned with this. I painted this really thick. We'll see if it's dry by Wednesday. If it's not completely dry, this area that I painted with palette knife, I'll let you know in the community section of the YouTube channel. So there is a chance, as I said, tomorrow's never promised today. There is a chance I may not be back here Wednesday if this doesn't dry. I can't imagine it not being dry, but with the cooler climates, we'll see. This is almost like in the style that I painted the portrait that was created in the most popular video of mine. I think it has like 300,000 views or something like that. Luckily for me, titled "Breaking the Rules." I don't know if anyone remembers that video. That's a throwback video from way back. That was very much in this style. This is very much in that style, should I say, where the main focus was on the main triangle, painting everything wet on wet and then adjusting it as I go. The only difference, however, is that this is going to be taken much further than that one. Almost wish I had Venetian red, but I don't think they make that with the alkyds that I know of. Now, as I always do, the lips are going, as I always paint, the lips are going to be painted in once there's some kind of underlying structure surrounding them. So I'm not just going to go in with lips and then try to figure out the surrounding shapes. I'm going to put in the surrounding shapes and then paint the lips into that. And again, that's usually how I work, not just in Prima color start, but also in classical. And this is probably one of the best starts, in my opinion, to a painting in these virtual painting sessions. It's not really the typical virtual painting session, as I have no clue what anyone is saying or thinking in the chat. But as you're seeing, it's a full focus was paid here, and now it's everything is going to be kind of built onto that. Now the paint did start to kind of settle a little bit from this brush stroke that we put in earlier. So I'm going to go in and adjust it with a little bit of solvent. So it's not completely dry, so it's still adjustable. Now, anyone wondering if you could use a little bit of medium at this stage if you're starting with color like this? And the answer is yeah, you can. And it won't be that, that damaging of a thing to do to the painting. It's just that typically you want to work with less medium in the beginning and then increase the amount of medium that you use little by little. With each layer that you add. Now these paintings are usually 3 layers, the virtual painting sessions. So if all goes well, this should hopefully be completed and up for sale on Saturday. So this is being started on a Monday. Not a Monday. Yeah, Monday. See, I'm losing my mind. So this is being started on a Monday. It will be continued on a Wednesday, and it will be completed on a Saturday. And, it takes a certain discipline to be able to paint like this, to be able to look at an image and see it for the shapes, see the abstract shapes and not get hung up on the details, and, be able to stomach this, to be able to see this without the mouse or anything like that. And really, I'm going to switch camera angles because I'm talking to you directly. And really, it takes a lot of practice to be able to do this, to be able to paint a portrait without being caught up with, number one, the likeness, number two, the psychological essence of recreating or mimicking a human image. The human frame, we're so fine-tuned to looking at pictures. We see pictures every single day. There's ads. There's ads on ads on ads and ads, unfortunately, and that's just the way life is. And we just see images all the time. We see pictures of people completed. You don't see uncompleted images of people all the time. So that's that psychological challenge, that psychological difficulty that is involved in portrait painting, which makes it very difficult and makes it very hard to see an image that looks like this. Because when we're looking at an image like this, it's like, what happened to your face? You're missing your all of this. And like, yeah, I know, I get it. The other thing is likeness. So sometimes, likeness can be something that can kill a painting, or it can make a painting very not fun. So for instance, I usually don't think about that. I paint things as I see them, and I try to interpret visual information and create a painting. I usually don't start off a painting and try to tell myself I want this to look exactly what I'm looking at, whether it's not just a portrait but still life or landscape or anything like that. I always put the painting first before the likeness. That's what we have photography for. That's what we have cameras for. I like paintings to be paintings, pictures to be pictures, because if something happens in nature, so there's this big discovery, right? Scientists see something for the first time, like there's a new type of chinchilla. Like, look at that. There's a new type of chinchilla. Wait, let's get that realist oil painter. Hey, realist oil painter, get your canvas and start to paint, and make sure you get exactly how it looks. That's not going to happen. The scientist is not going to find this new chinchilla and get a realist portrait painter to recreate that image. It's nonsense. The scientist is going to use science. The scientist is going to take a photograph and document things as they should be documented in science, rather than try to get an artist to get a literal depiction, when the artist is there to use their heart and their souls and to interpret visual information and to create a painting, not to copy it, not to recreate it. That is the job of a camera. That is the job of a printing machine. So we want to be painters and not printing machines. Anyway, so that's the kind of mindset that it takes to be able to stomach this, to be able to paint like this. So once I get the mouth back in here, I'll turn the chat back on and then hang out for a little bit and see if anyone's still here watching this live. So in case you're watching and you're wondering when I'm going to turn the chat back on, I will do that once I paint the mouth back in there. So this whole section is like one complete plane. So I'm going to just unify it for now and add more variation to it later. So despite me not really doing this live stream in the traditional sense, I hope that you're enjoying the footage. And I hope you're enjoying being able to see how I paint, without having to respond to so many comments. Though I enjoy responding to comments, but again, today just got out of hand. So it could be that the chin may have to move up again, which is not really a big deal. So what I'm going to do now is paint in the top plane of the orbicularis oris. Right there. And then I'll go in with the top middle portion of the upper lip. Start to describe that shape. And from there, I'll move into the other shapes for the mouth. So there it is, starting with the top, middle, and then I'll work my way around. Usually gauging the root, or not the root, the bottom of the nose all the way down here. So this is the length of the philtrum that I'm trying to approximate. And if it's too far up, it's not a big deal. I'll just be moving the shapes. I think it's a little far up, so I'm going to move it down. And once I get the mouth in there, I'll turn on the chat and see what's up. I'll respond to, I guess, the most recent comments. So once you see the chat box return, then you know that the stream is back to normal. This isn't the first time we had to do this either. The start of the painting titled The Hat, I had to do this for some time. Not as long as this, but sometimes I do have to take the chat out and not look at it in order to get the painting started. And this is just beginning, and this is just the start. Things are going to look as messed up as ever in the beginning. And then I will adjust it. So I usually say that I work from really wrong. In this case, I'm working from incredibly wrong to really wrong to less wrong. And that's what I mean when I say that I work from general to specific. So this is definitely going to have to be adjusted. So let's move this. Like I said, the chin is not the end of the world to move. And none of it is. It's all easy to move if you keep your shape simple and easy, so that when the time comes to make changes, those changes are simple and easy to manage. And yes, see that it is starting to get a little tacky, which means that this painting will definitely be dry, at least here, on Wednesday. So the details for the lips don't matter. What matters is the basic placement. And then I can go in and refine the shapes later. Again, I do not care about the details. All right, so I have the mouth in there somewhat incorrectly, but it's in there. So now it's been about, I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a long time that I haven't had the chat turned on. So I'm going to turn it back on, give you a chance to write any questions that you want to write. So I've just turned the chat back on. This is no guarantee that when you're seeing this that I'm going to be reading the chat. I'm turning it back on just so you know that I'm going to answer any kind of questions soon, just not right now. I'm just letting you know by turning the chat on. Of course, it takes about a minute or two for the chat to work. So let's see. So if you see the chat right now in the corner of your screen, that means that I will be answering questions soon. But yeah, I'm not going to get to the questions till I fix the mouth. Okay, that's the best I could do in the short amount of time that I had the chat off. So let me go ahead and now read the chat. Let's see if anyone's still with me. So let's see. Okay, the comments are still moving at a million pace. Okay. What is this? Hold on. So now that I've turned on my chat on my screen, it's moving really quickly. Okay, so okay, that's crazy. I've never seen that before. So let me change camera angles. Interesting predicament. Excuse me. I turned the chat back on, and all of a sudden the chat started loading on my messenger. So it's like going like a million messages a second. So I'm gonna just type I'm back. Oh wow, I wish you could see what I'm seeing. This is crazy. all of the questions showing up. What is going on here? Okay, has it stopped? Hold on a second. Okay, I'm confused here. Is everyone seeing this, or is this just me? That the chat was just moving like at a million words a second. Obviously exaggeration there, but what the heck is going on with this? Does everyone see this? What you're seeing there is what I was seeing. I don't know what? I don't know. I don't know. Has it stopped? Has it stopped? Did you see that? Everyone watching this as a pre-recorded video. Hopefully you saw what I saw. That was insane. It doesn't look like it's speeding by this end. Okay, that looks like you're responding to me. It was just me. Everyone stop. Everyone stop commenting. Let's see. I don't know what's going on. I've seen the word spam once again, so I may have to take this out again. Let me scroll through someone's comment that I can talk to. Like, okay, let's see. Hey, Kathy. Saying bye, Ellie. Somebody has my name here. Upari Lopez. Why was the chat gone? I had to turn the chat off because there was like some kind of war going on in the chat and it was distracting me. So I turned it off. And I was gone for like a good, I don't know, like hour it seemed. Hey Bruce, Jacobs, I'm glad that you've enjoyed this painting demonstration. Ellie Tenez, gotta go, take care. Hey, CEX, the artist, likeness makes me go crazy. Yeah, likeness, like I mentioned, it's not something that I don't always really look for. I try to make it a painting first before a portrait. Willie and Olia, you asked how long will it take to complete this painting. This is only the start. This is just the rough draft. And the main objective was to get this and get the drawing started. So this will take 3 streams. So a little close to 9 hours to complete. So we're just getting started. Just getting started. And it looks like it's already about to be 8 o'clock on my end, so I might end the stream early. Just because the paint is starting. Since I worked all over the place, the paint is starting to get a little unruly. So I may end this one early. See that? How it's subtracted there. Yeah, you probably Lopez, you have my name. That's interesting. I've never met someone with my name. I'm glad you like the expression, Monique. Hey, it's Gabriella. Hey, it's Gabriella. I got here by clicking the wrong video, but I don't regret it at all. So, hey, it's Gabriella. Thank you for the nicest comment I think that I've received in a long time. That you clicked on this video by accident and you don't regret it. Awesome. I'm really, really glad that you're liking this video. My computer is shooting me a warning. So it looks like, I guess all of the comments that loaded is causing my computer to struggle. Okay, so I tried the best that I could to respond to some of the questions by scrolling. Bert 2008 before 69, what kind of board are you painting on? This is a ampersand gesso board museum series. Hey MTSH, hello. Ampersand Gesso Board Museum Series. So let's try not to drop the painting. See if you can see the stamp here. The Gesso board stamp. That means we have a very good quality panel, but not always the case. I mean, you know, you can get any kind of wooden panel and prepare it with layers and layers of Liquitex Professional Acrylic Gesso. Hey, Nancy Lopez. Oh, thank you for your comment. Yupari Lopez. Yes, I can give you a shout out. Yeah, we have the same name. Wow. I've again, Yupari Lopez. I've never met someone else with my name in my entire life. So it is so nice to meet you, Yupari Lopez. Shout out to you. If this is your first time in the stream, which I think it is because I would remember your name. So a shout out to you. Thank you so much for tuning into one of the virtual painting sessions. Apologize for everyone who has tuned in for the first time in this one, as this one was chaotic and I had to turn off the comments for like an hour or so. But yep, welcome. Let's see. Yeah. Hey, CEX, the artist, don't turn it off next time. Just look early. Yeah, it is overheating my computer. Yeah, you're right, CEX, the artist. My computer sent me a warning, so that's not good. Hey, Steven, I'm glad the background works really well. I'm probably just going to leave this as it is and return to it on Wednesday. If this isn't dry, then we'll return to this on Saturday and then finish it on Monday. Oh, thanks, Mar Ruiz. Yupari Lopez, I followed you from Imgur. Oh, thanks, Hardjot. Since Hardjot, you did the Imgur thing. Yeah, thank you so much, Hardjot, for doing the Imgur. And thanks, Yupari Lopez, for joining from Imgur. Let's see. Oh, I'm glad you liked the painting with the tattoo. Nancy Lopez, second time here, but oh, thank you. Thank you for hanging on with us here. No, I'm not going to say that. I caught on to that very quickly, so CEX, the artist. I'm not fooled that quickly. Hey, Windows Tinted, focus on the lesson more, Yupari. That's why we came to the stream. And you didn't make a mistake. The beauty of oil paint. Oh, thank you. I usually say that these aren't meant to be lessons. These are virtual painting sessions. And again, if you are interested in taking online classes with me, please check out my online classes for $10 a month. I'm going to go ahead and link it here for you. So for everyone that's interested, hold on a second. Let me find it. There it is. So these are supposed to be virtual painting sessions. This one got out of hand, unfortunately, so sorry, everyone. But, you know, I can only do what I can do. So there is the link. Hopefully it arrives at some point. There it is. So there's the link to my online classes. I'm going to pin it. I think I pinned something else, but I'm going to unpin what I had pinned and pin this one. So I'm going to pin it for my Patreon. And please check out the online classes that begin at $10 a month. And my oh, thanks for hanging on there, Julie. Thanks, Monique. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm going to be cleaning off the brushes. So I'm going to be cleaning off the brushes. Down below here, I have my little cup with my solvent, the odorless mineral spirits, the Gamsol. And I'll be cleaning off the brushes that I've been using. Then I'm going to clean off the palette. The painting, since I worked all around the painting, and this is fast drying oil paint, is starting to dry really quickly, which is great. So hopefully we'll be back here on Wednesday. Please check the community section of my YouTube channel for updates if we will continue this on Wednesday or Saturday. I'll let you know. And again, I'm just cleaning off the brush. Consider this our dedicated questions and answers time. So please feel free to ask me any questions that you may have. Hey, Harjot, I have some questions on Umber. Okay, I gotta check that out. Again, I don't even know how to log on to that, so I will check on that. Let's see. Hey Monique, do you mind if we paint along with you while you're doing these virtual painting streams and then ask for a couple of pointers, or do you prefer to just stick to the lessons? Monique, yeah, since you are an online student, again, you can send me images of your painting. So if you painted along with me and you're in the online classes, you can send me an image of what you've painted for the virtual classroom. So for instance, if you can send it to me by tonight, it should be available for the virtual classroom that should air tomorrow evening. But again, that's only for online students. Hey, Kathy. Oh, Kathy, you were here in the stream. Welcome. Sorry, Kathy, you ended up joining one of the most chaotic streams. Yep, see you on Wednesday, Kathy, for a much more peaceful, relaxing, and educational lesson. So, yep, Kathy will very likely return to the Rembrandt on Wednesday. Hey, Ruiz, thanks for watching. Let's see, I got one more brush to clean. One more brush. Actually, nope, I've got two more brushes to clean. So please feel free to ask me any questions now that are art related. Hey, Monique. Yep, I got your message. Yep, as Kathy said, you can use flake white and be perfectly fine as long as, you know, we don't eat the flake white. And again, I do use flake white for the most part. Here is my flake white. This is proof. The only thing is, since it's kind of cooler during the evenings here in the studio, I've noticed that it takes a lot longer for it to dry, which is why I'm using the alkyds. Hey, Nancy Lopez. Thank you for watching. Hey, Harjot. Yeah, Harjot, thanks for the doing the Imgur, and thanks for the suggestion with the palette knife on the background. All right, so all the brushes are clean for the most part. Now I'm just gonna get my palette knife. And see, it even started drying on the palette, which is awesome. That means this will be dry by Wednesday, fingers crossed. Hey, Ayush, I have born and raised in Maryland. I'm a Marylander for sure. I live in Beltsville, Maryland. Hey, Carolyn, what is the most used color when you paint? For me, probably yellow ochre for skin tones, but raw umber is my most used color in general. Thank you for the question. Hey, Maurice, why do I like them unfinished? I don't know, but I'm glad that you like this painting. Hey, EX the artist. Oil paintings are more durable. I'd say that, I guess, you know, for instance, if you look at some of the oldest paintings in history, they've lasted because of the conditions that they've been kept in. So a lot of egg tempera paintings are still alive to this, well, not alive, but still exist to this day. Which are far older than oil paintings. It all really depends on the conditions that they're kept in. But in general, I mean, if you follow fat over lean, you layer your oil paintings carefully, then they will last for centuries. Especially if you paint on aluminum panels or some kind of very sturdy support, those paintings can outlast pretty much almost any paintings created in history, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Hey Ayush, now I am a big fan. Oh, thank you, Ayush. Julie, Neeks asks, what's the difference between flake white and titanium white? Good question. Differences between flake white and titanium white. In general, if we're gonna go for which one do I prefer, this one. I prefer flake white, but given it's a little bit colder, it gets colder in this building in the evening, this takes now too long to dry, whereas in the summertime this dried in a reasonable amount of time. So the difference, other than the drying time, is that flake white allows you to use more of it without raising the value too much, which allows you to have a thicker consistency of paint. Now, for instance, this painting that I created here, this self-portrait, this was painted entirely with flake white, and I know that it's kind of dark. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. I know that it's kind of dark, but anyway, this was painted entirely with flake white and my usual colors. So here you can see this kind of buildup is very. It's better to try to get this kind of buildup of paint with flake white, but with titanium white you can get something like this, where it's a much brighter and more chromatic effect. Let's see. Harja, what do art schools like to see in a portfolio? I think they, at least from my days, they really like to see classical artworks, figure drawings, portrait paintings, figure paintings. Hey, Windows Tinted, why do you allow the oil paint to dry on your palette? I get, let's see, I get flaking in fresh paint when mixed, so I gotta use a clean palette. This is just because I paint every day, almost every day, except for Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays and Sundays I dedicate to, I don't know, I don't know. They're just my days off. So for instance, this is the palette that I use when I'm doing studio painting. So again, this is not a very large palette, but it's these days this palette is like the most useful for me, just because I'm using the alkyds. So what I do is I take the paint off of here. Actually, let me just show you what I do. I take the paint off of here and just put it on my palette, and then I paint like that. And I go through a lot of paint. So for instance, leaving this amount of paint on here doesn't really bother me. I think this is the first time you're seeing me do this live, so let me just show you. Just take the paint off. Whatever is wet. If it's not wet, I just leave it alone. And I will use this probably tomorrow morning when I return to one of my studio paintings. So see, the raw umber is pretty much dry. So I'm just going to flatten it out. Leave it be. Ivory black, pretty much flat. Flatten it out, leave it be. Ultramarine blue, there's still some wet. So take it, put it here, and that's good. Now I can use these tomorrow morning. So that's how I go about using my paints from day in to day out. Hey, Windows Tinted, do you freeze it to keep it wet for days? No, not really. It gets really cold here overnight, so the studio kind of turns into a refrigerator, a big refrigerator. So I guess in theory I do freeze it, but not on purpose. It's just because at night it's freezing in the studio. Hey Merva, they told me in the drawing store that they are no longer allowed to display or sell flake white because it's dangerous. What? Dangerous to health, as the painter must wear. No. No, flake white is not that dangerous unless you take the flake white and you're painting with it, you get it all over your hands, and then you pick up a sandwich, a 7-Eleven sandwich or something, and start eating it while you're painting with flake white. But no, flake white is not dangerous as long as you don't eat while you're painting with it. Let's see. Hey, Cloudy. I'm a student in school and enjoy art, but we only learn realism. Is there a way I can improve? I would say to improve on realistic painting, I would say definitely to do many self-portraits. That would be my best advice, self-portraits. Hey Monique, when I did the Zorn palette layout based on one of your earlier videos, I found that I ended up wasting some leftover paint. Any way to avoid that? Did you mix enough to actually use it? Most likely, Monique, I most likely didn't put that much paint out. I know that this looks like a lot of paint, but this is just paint build up here over time. So, so Monique, I usually don't put that much paint out. Okay. I think I got some, at least some of the most recent questions. Okay. Ever heard of Alice Neal, Dave B? Actually, I think so. That name rings a bell. Is she like an expressionist painter? Name sounds familiar. With that being said, that should be about it. I'm going to return to this painting once it dries. It's either going to be Wednesday or it's going to be Saturday. Please check the community section. So that being said, online students, we will definitely have our next lesson on Wednesday, so no need to worry about any skips there. Again, this is me right here thanking you all directly. So thank you so much for watching today's virtual painting session. I apologize that I had to take the chat out for a while as the stream did get kind of chaotic. It's not the first time I've had to do it, but it was the longest time I had to do it. This time in particular because I started the painting with color, which is very difficult. So I had to do that in order to not butcher the painting too much. So everyone that wrote down a comment, of which I missed your comment, I really apologize for that. Definitely tune in on the next stream. The start of a painting is usually the most chaotic, but it mellows out usually a little bit closer towards the completion of the painting. So again, thank you so much for watching. I wish you the very best in all of your artwork. Again, this is me signing out. Take care, everyone, and I will see you on the next one.